My whole entire life, I questioned my purpose. Like, what is it I'm going to be? What am I going to do? You know, like, who am I? And I said, I struggled with imposter syndrome because I just never thought I was good enough for anything.
Welcome to Grit Factor, where we dive into stories of women who rise with purpose, redefine success, and of course, leave legacies. Today's guest embodies a journey from humble beginnings to global distinction. And she is a proud South African born in Bluff and raised in Wentworth, Durban. A loving wife and a mom of two. And of course, a woman of influence and impact. Candice Abrahams has made history as Mrs. South Africa 2016 and became the first South African woman to win Mrs. World the very same year. Candice, welcome to Grit Factor.
Oh my gosh, Erin. Oh, it's so lovely to be here. I can't believe, you know, I still get goosebumps. I cannot believe you've just said that about me. I mean,
it's amazing.
Right? And I still get imposter syndrome because I believe like I'm just a girl.
Yes.
And I still live with this energy that I'm never going to grow up.
Sure.
I'm never going to be this older woman, you know, that society has. I'm just a girl.
I love that.
And I feel that, you know, when you say these things about me, I'm like, is that really me?
Yeah.
Like, did I really do that? Like,
incredible.
Wow, you know?
And you're doing so much more.
Oh,
and so we are excited to just hear and delve into all the amazing things you have done and you're busy doing as well. But I think maybe let's go from the very beginning. Like, where did everything start? Maybe just share your childhood, how you were brought up.
So I was a very shy girl. I didn't have self-belief. I remember, I always say, my mom used to die when it came to orals because I would ditch school. I would say I have headaches. I would sweat profusely. I didn't want to make eye contact with anyone. And my mom put me in modeling because wherever I'd go, people would walk around and say, Candice has something about her, but she's shy. You know, you should try putting her in modeling. And this is why. And my whole story began. And I look back and I say, the more I try and walk away from my purpose, which is in this modeling field, in this industry, the more I'm aligned back in my purpose. Wow. It's the crazy thing. And you keep running away from something and it keeps bringing you back. So much so, I now have a school because I believe so much in what it's done for me. And I see the value and how it becomes a ripple effect on those around you. So going back to my childhood, very, very timid, shy, would hide behind my mom's skirt. And, you know, I'd go to modeling classes, hated it because, you know, I always felt like I didn't fit in. I love fashion. I loved clothes. But where I came from, you know, my mom had an Edgar's account. So I always would joke. I would bribe her. I'm working with Edgar's now. I would bribe her and say, I'm only going to go to modeling if I get a new outfit.
Okay.
And, you know, that was my love of fashion. That's where it came from. But I never felt like I fitted in. I always just felt like, you know, back then it was very different. You know, it was very physical and you had to look a certain way and be. And also I was mainly always the only brown-skinned girl. So, you know, I had to always just fight for a place. And that wasn't my personality. So as I grew along, I did pageants and more pageants. And when I say I was at a point where I wanted to give up, because I said to my mom, I can't do this anymore. You keep pushing me into these things. And like you keep trying to let me do this, but, you know, I'm not feeling it. And it was the last pageant that I'd made up my mind that I'm giving up. I won.
Wow.
And that's when the light bulb just... It came on, the switch turned up, and I saw the value. Okay, I won amazing prizes. I won my first gym contract. That's where my love for gym started. I was like 13 years old. But going back to my whole story is that once I had won that one pageant, it gave me so much confidence. And I stood there in my power and I was like, this feels so good. You know, I need more of this. And I kept going and I won 16. There was a few where I was like first princess, second princess, but I had won 16.
Wow.
Fast forward years later, I was on, remember the Jam Alley TV show?
Yes, I remember.
So I'd won Miss Jam Alley.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the first time they had the youngest finalist in Miss South Africa. This was 2001.
Okay.
So at the same time, I just won Miss Jam Alley and I was a finalist for Miss South Africa. Again, my mom entered me. I was just in a trick. And
Thanks,
I
Mom.
remember, yes, I remember going to the interview and I was like, I didn't get it. And they called me and they were like, you did so well. Like everybody was raving top 16.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Did the show, was on TV, it was on Mnet at the time. And again, Erin, I learned so much through the pageant industry. I learned, they took us on courses. We learned how to, etiquette, how to eat with a knife and fork, how to dress up and show up, all these workshops. And I see the value, and I'd seen the value of what it did to my life.
Yeah.
And I knew I'm going to enter again. Someday, I'm going to come back and I'm going to win that crown. However, life had a different plan for me. I had met my husband. He's a DJ.
Yes.
And he used to be the DJ and I used to model on the ramp.
Okay.
And we had met. And I did Miss South Africa. I thought I was going back again. And God had other plans for me. Had my daughter at a young age, right? And that's when he then said to me, we're getting married and we're moving to Johannesburg. He's got a gig here. Sure. And I was like, there's no way I'm not leaving my family. I come from a close bonded family. I'm moved to Joburg and depression hit in.
And you, of course, just had your baby, and it's a whole different emotional, right? Yeah.
And I felt like I had lost so much. A part of me, I had anxiety. I would, wake up, take my daughter to nursery school and jump back into bed.
Wow.
And somebody had said to me, there's a pageant called Mrs. South Africa. You should do it. And I was like, no. I'm just a mom. And she was like, you should really do it. It's a networking opportunity. It's going to revive you as a woman. We see you like back, And Erin, when I say Mrs. South Africa changed my entire life, the rest is history. 10 years later, 2015, I won. Wow. It's now 2025. And when I say Mrs. South Africa, it was like a revelation for me of my purpose and where I needed to be in life. Because again, I had done corporate, I had tried everything else, but somehow I was destined back into this industry.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love that. You know what? I think every time I speak about Mrs. South Africa, and I just sometimes we'll just say thank you to Joni, and it's like, you don't understand.
And she's so tired of us saying
She must be, right? But the impact of this pageant is like on a whole nother level. I don't think people understand it. And I'm not sure if it's because it's a Mrs. Pageant. I haven't done pageants prior to this one, so I don't have experience in pageants. Yeah. But I'm thinking, is it because it is a Mrs. Pageant that it is so powerfully transformational in the lives of so many women? Because there is no way. It's like, for me, I feel like I'm a hard nut to crack.
Yeah.
Just in general. Yeah. And so for something like this to impact me in such a profound way, I'm still like in awe.
I still say to people, guys, it's not a pageant.
Yeah.
Because we use the term pageant, with the sash as this
glorified.
Yeah. But honestly, Erin, it changed my life. And I sort of walked into my power. Just unapologetically, I stepped into my power and I owned it. And I still remember the bonds and the friendships I'd made throughout the journey. And when I'd won, you see a different change in people.
Yeah.
And I just said, I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
Because my whole life, right, I dialed my sparkle. And even during the Mrs. SA pageant, I dialed my sparkle.
Wow.
Because in fear of everyone thinking I'm...
Like, who do you think you are?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've never wanted to be that way. I've always wanted to be a girl's girl. I've got your back, friends with everyone, just cheering each other on.
Yes.
And I'd felt like during the pageant, I'd met so many friends. And then afterwards, I was like, if I'm going to show up here in my authentic self, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when I'd won Mrs. South Africa, it was like, when they put that crown on my head, I was like, this is me. I'm no longer a people pleaser. I will show up for myself because they say, be the light, right?
Yeah.
So I stepped into that light unapologetically and my life changed.
Wow.
And it's so amazing that once you step into your power and you actually see your worth,
yes,
you allow those around you to do the same.
Absolutely.
I see it with the models at my school.
Wow.
You know?
I love that. Yeah, I do feel like for myself as well, even though I wouldn't say I was shy, but I never wanted to put myself out there.
Yes.
I guess it's sort of similar to you in the sense of like, you don't want people to be like, who do you think you are?
Yes.
Like, girl, can you just calm down?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know?
But at the same time, you know that there's so much more on the inside of you and so much more that you have to offer.
100%.
And I think Mrs. South Africa definitely gave me that. It's okay, go girl. It's okay. You have permission.
Shine.
Go and do your thing.
All your
Show
glory.
up. You know what I mean? Do all the things that you wanted to do and can do, and do it well. And so that's been huge for me as well. I can absolutely resonate.
I find it's like the fairy godmother that just literally takes the sprinkle and it's like, go girl.
Yes.
So yes, I saw the value in modeling, and I co-own a franchise company called ACE Models.
Amazing.
And I'm obsessed because, you know, to witness what I went through as a young girl and seeing the girls at our school transform.
Oh, it's the best feeling. Yeah.
Erin, that's when you know that your life is in God's hands. You know, I always say when you're doing something positive, the doors will just open naturally.
Yeah. And I think it's great because you are empowering the next generation. Like you're empowering these young girls to just, you're giving them an opportunity, but you're also showing them the possibility of what can be. Yeah. You know, if they step into their confidence and who they are and position themselves with the strength, whatever their personality is. Because I think a lot of time kids think when they're soft or when they're a little bit more withdrawn, you know, I can't do anything. I must steer away from the limelight.
Hiding their sparkle.
Exactly. But I think, you know, things like pageantry and the work that you're doing, I think similar work I do with the For Change Foundation. It's a bit different. It's a spin on like arts and entertainment, music, dancing, that kind of stuff. But it's the same principle. You know, you show these kids who they are, give them an opportunity, and you see the transformation that is like.
And don't you feel fulfilled?
Yes.
You when you lay in bed at night, you know, just changing someone's life, making them smile, you know.
Absolutely.
Giving them that confidence
Absolutely.
where they are thriving.
Yeah.
It's the best feeling ever. And that's, you know, my whole entire life, I question my purpose. Like, what is it I'm going to be? What am I going to do? You know, like, who am I? And I said, I struggled with imposter syndrome because I just never thought I was good enough for anything.
Wow.
And now when I see myself standing there, being that mentor and being that coach and cheering them on and seeing them exude in this confidence and seeing the change, I'm like, okay, purpose.
Amazing. Because the day I was at your event, your fashion show, the awards that you had, one of the girls spoke. And I was like, wow, the way she spoke about what the agency or your modeling agency school has done for her and how she was such a different young lady before she started, and the transformation that she's experienced and just her confidence and how she's feeling better about herself. It was just like you know that this is purpose driven.
And I feel like every school should actually have a school like what we offer, because it's a school of life. That's how we position it.
Awesome.
That you walk in and you unsure of who you want to be, and we literally put that switch on. We give you the tools, and you become that confident woman in the boardroom, or that confident young man that is going to be the doctor, the dentist. No matter what you want to be, you need confidence. Absolutely. You need to be able to sell that PowerPoint presentation, shake a hand firmly, shoulders up, you know, look at someone in the eyes. It's important.
Yeah.
You know, so many times people actually don't get an interview for that job because they just couldn't look someone in the eye. Right?
Yeah.
So important.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
I love it.
That's incredible. What was it like to be Mrs. World?
Oh my gosh, are we still saying this? I can't believe it.
You were the first South African to become Mrs. World. That is like, that's an amazing feat.
I still cannot comprehend it. And I had to fly myself. So it was the first time. I'm so used to doing everything with my husband or my mom or my family. And after I won Mrs. South Africa, Joni was like, wow, this is part of it's part of the independence. And I had to fly to China alone.
Wow.
I still remember Joni had commitments and I flew in, and that was a story for another day. I don't want to keep your listeners here. But going back, again, it pushed me, and I took a leap of faith, believed in myself. All the odds were against me. Wow. Everything. My entire trip, there was so much that was against me, Erin. And I fought through, hey?
Wow.
I fought through. And when they said South Africa, I said, I'm doing this. When they announced on stage and they said, South Africa, I was like, this is it.
Wow.
This is for the moment where a young girl back home in Durban, in South Africa, in Soweto, doesn't believe in herself. I'm trying to show her that you can do it.
Wow.
Because at the time, there was no misses. You know, you need to understand that.
Sure.
Life happens. You get married, you get kids. You're just beginning. Yeah. You know, your life journey it's actually just beginning. Just be honest, right?
Absolutely.
You have kids and life starts.
Yeah.
So after winning Mrs. World, for me, it was a total game changer, because I knew that any married woman at home that is going through depression, doesn't believe in herself, if I can do it as a South African and being the first making history, anyone can do it.
It's amazing.
So
that's incredible. I definitely feel like it's yourself, and of course Tejo is now the second South African, the first Black
9
woman.
years later.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. But it's true. I think you said, there's just something else about being South African, and it's sort of what we carry. And but what do you think was the game changer for you when you went there?
You know, honestly, Erin, I've had this conversation many times, and I said that South Africa is a feeling. Yeah. And so when I walked into the whole pageant, I just knew that, and I said to the judges, tip, I said, I just want you to see my heart.
Okay.
I'm doing this for the people at home, whether I win or not. I just want them to know that you can show up in another country.
Amazing.
You can represent your country as a married woman or a girl or a guy, and you can do it with self-belief. Sure. And I sat there with the judges and I said, I just want you to see my heart.
Amazing.
I just want you to see my heart.
Yeah.
And I shared stories of home you know, how I grew up. And I think that just being yourself and sharing your heart, that is the magic factor.
Amazing. Okay, so we've sort of come to the end of our convo. I know, right? It goes so quickly, but we can have more in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think maybe just share a word of encouragement or motivation to a young girl that's out there, that's watching, perhaps doesn't know what to do. Maybe is struggling to, discover a purpose or find out what's her next. Just a word of encouragement.
Yeah. So you need to sit with yourself. You need to take time out. You need to block out the noise. You literally need to get to know yourself. Know what you stand for in life, because once you know what you stand for, the rest will follow through. Yeah. So have a firm belief in yourself, how you want to show up in your life. And no matter what it takes, that why will lead you
absolutely
so confidently in every single alignment action that you follow through. So intent. Yeah. So intend to do something and stick to it.
Good.
Right? Have a vision.
Good.
Always have some sort of plan. So have a vision every single day, look at it and try and action it.
Sure.
Do not go to bed without trying to have some sort of action on that plan.
Good.
And then, just make sure that you never give up.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do a quick rapid fire questions, and you just answer whatever comes to mind. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the first one is your go-to mantra.
Oh, I am because you are.
Great. Best book you recommend for growth?
The Power of a Woman.
Love it. One thing you wish every young influencer understood?
They just need to be themselves.
Great. What does grit mean to you in one sentence?
Never giving up.
Yay! Thank you. That was amazing. Love it. Okay, well, Candice, thank you so much again. Maybe just share with our viewers where they can find if they'd like to connect with you, if they want to do some modeling and connect with ACE Models. Just share your information.
Thank you. So on Instagram, we are ACE Models Waterfall. We are very active there, so that find us there. And then Instagram, Candice_Abrahams, and that's it.
Amazing.
I don't want them to see my TikTok.
Okay. Okay, we'll leave them to go and find it for themselves.
Yes,
I'm sure they will. But thank you so much again. It was really just such a pleasure to have you here. And looking forward to just doing more amazing things with you in the future, and all the best with all your endeavors. You really are inspiring and just encouraging the next generation and just leaving such a huge impact. And we see it in the lives of your kids as well.
Hopefully the next time I see you, we'll be saying the third Mrs. World from South Africa.
Oh, yes. I will take that one. Thank you.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Candice.
Ciao.
Well, thank you for watching this episode of Grit Factor. I hope that you have been inspired and encouraged to become the very best version of yourself. We'll see you next time on the Grit Factor.